It is 2008 in Springfield, Illinois. A young man named Barack Obama steps on a stage. The crowd shouts with hope. People clap, cheer, and cry. Because for the first time in years, they believe a new voice can change their country. Here is the shocking truth. By 2025, many years later, polls still show Obama more admired than Donald Trump, more admired than Mark Zuckerberg, more admired than world leaders still in power. Why is that? In America's darkest time, during the financial crash, when jobs were lost and homes were gone, Obama became a symbol of healing. He was more than a politician. He was a sign of hope. But this brought new tension. What if his popularity grew so strong it even shook Donald Trump? Why would a billionaire who loves fame and power feel smaller next to a man who once gave away his own prize money? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you will hear the secret behind Barack Obama's unmatched popularity, so strong it shocked even Donald Trump. It is January 2008. The Great Recession begins. Banks close, jobs disappear, families fear losing their homes, and into that storm steps Barack Obama. He launches his campaign with one word: hope. But hope was not just a slogan. It soon became action. The stimulus plan brought nearly $787 billion into the economy. Roads were fixed, schools were funded, millions of jobs came back to life. For many, that was more than politics. It was survival. Families saw in Obama a calm leader who did not panic when the world was falling apart. He spoke with steady words. He promised that America would rise again. And slowly, people began to believe. An ordinary worker in Detroit said Obama's plan saved his paycheck. A mother in Ohio said it saved her home. For them, Obama was not just a president. He was a lifeline. The contrast grew sharper. Donald Trump built towers. Barack Obama rebuilt lives. But this leads to a bigger question. Were policies enough to explain why people felt such a personal bond with him? It is 2010. The Affordable Care Act becomes law. For the first time, millions of Americans who had no protection finally have health care. Over 20 million people gain coverage. Families with sick children can no longer be denied. Parents breathe easier, knowing a doctor's bill will not destroy their home. Young adults are allowed to stay on their parents' plans until age 26. For millions, it feels like a shield, a promise that sickness will not mean bankruptcy. But not everyone was happy. From the very start, Donald Trump attacked the law. He promised to end it. He promised to replace it. Yet every attempt failed. And each time he tried, the law grew more popular because people saw what they could lose. For them, Obama was not just a man who signed a bill. He was the reason their children lived with care, the reason their families had safety. And here lies the twist. The more Trump tried to erase him, the more Obama's legacy grew. But beyond laws and policies, what moment truly electrified the nation? It is May 2nd, 2011. After 10 long years, America's most wanted man is found. A secret team of Navy SEALs storms a compound in Pakistan. In the dark of night, Osama bin Laden is killed. News spreads across the world within minutes. Crowds gather outside the White House, waving flags and singing. For the first time since September 11th, the nation feels a breath of relief. It feels pride. And at the center of it all stands Barack Obama. He gave the order. He took the risk. And when the mission succeeded, his approval rating soared overnight. The image was clear. Obama was not just a man with words. He was a commander who delivered action. Meanwhile, Donald Trump could only watch. This was not his moment. It belonged to Obama, and the contrast grew sharper. Trump built headlines. Obama built history. That night sealed the truth. Obama was more than a politician. He became the leader who delivered. But the question remains, how did he carry this influence beyond politics into a legacy Trump never matched? In 2009, Barack Obama wins the Nobel Peace Prize. The award brings more than honor. It brings money, a prize of $1.4 million. What does Obama do? He gives it all away. Every dollar is donated to charities that support children, students, and families in need. It is a rare act in modern politics, and it is only the beginning. Soon, he builds the Obama Foundation. Its mission: to support youth, to expand education, to improve health, and to fight for global equality. The foundation grows quickly. It raises over $1 billion. It builds programs across the world. And it prepares the Obama Presidential Center, a place for history, ideas, and future leaders. Now look at the contrast. Donald Trump had his own foundation, but it is shut down in 2018 for fraud. Courts say the money was misused. The image is clear. Obama builds opportunities. Trump builds lawsuits. And this divide cuts deeper than politics. Because here lies the twist. This is the moment Trump realized Obama's popularity was not only about laws or speeches. It came from trust. From being seen as someone who gave back more than he took. That kind of influence cannot be bought. But was philanthropy enough to keep Obama relevant in the harsh world of public opinion? Barack Obama never stood alone. At his side was Michelle Obama. Her voice, her actions, her presence made the legacy even stronger. She launched Let's Move, a campaign to fight childhood obesity. She wrote Becoming, a book that became a global bestseller. Families saw her as more than a first lady. They saw her as a role model, a woman who balanced strength with kindness. And for young women, she became an example of what was possible. But her work reached beyond speeches. She built My Brother's Keeper, guiding young men of color. She helped create the Girls' Opportunity Alliance, opening doors for education worldwide. Together, these programs lifted an entire generation. This is the hidden truth. The Obama legacy was never a solo act. It was a partnership. Barack brought policy, Michelle brought culture, and together they became something more. They became icons, figures not tied to politics, but to everyday life. Meanwhile, Donald Trump built towers and headlines. But the Obamas built influence that reached into classrooms, kitchens, and communities. Here lies the twist. This was a power couple effect far beyond Trump's reach. They were not just leaders, they were symbols of family, hope, and possibility. But what do the numbers say? How do people actually feel about Barack Obama today? It is 2025. New polls from YouGov, Gallup, and NBC reveal a stunning fact. Barack Obama is still ranked among the most admired leaders in the world. His favorability remains higher than Donald Trump, especially with independents and moderates. Even years after leaving office, his shadow remains. Crowds still line up for his speeches. 15 years later, people still cheer as if he were president today. This is the emotional pull. While Trump fights for attention daily, Obama commands it in silence. No rants, no constant noise, just presence. And presence is power. Here lies the twist. Obama's popularity became more than national. It became global. From Africa to Asia to Europe, his image carries weight. But the question still lingers. What is the hidden force behind Obama's lasting power? The secret begins to show. With Obama, character mattered more than wealth. It was never about gold towers or loud promises. It was about dignity. It was about calmness in storms. It was about empathy that made people feel seen. These traits spoke louder than money or power ever could. Even his critics often admitted one thing. He listened before he spoke. That alone built a bond few leaders ever reach. While Donald Trump chased applause with every move, Barack Obama earned trust with every pause. One grasped at attention, the other inspired loyalty. And that difference grew sharper each year. But here is the suspense. What is the true secret? The one thing Trump could never copy, no matter how hard he tried. Donald Trump often mocked Obama in public. He called him names. He questioned his record. He even spread rumors. But behind the stage, Trump kept watching the numbers. He tracked Obama's approval ratings, and what he saw burned. Trump filled rallies with loyal crowds, but Obama drew millions without even trying. Spontaneous gatherings, people lining streets just to hear his voice. Even years after leaving power, the crowd still came. Every attack Trump launched only proved Obama's endurance. Because the insults faded, but the admiration stayed. Here lies the twist. The billionaire who built hotels could not escape the shadow of a man who built hope, and that shadow followed him everywhere. So the question rises, what is the hidden truth that explains why Obama's popularity even stunned Trump himself? The hidden truth is this: Obama's power never came from policies, polls, or even speeches. It came from trust. It came from authenticity. Americans saw that wealth fades. They knew that power shifts, but character remains. Here was a president who gave his prize money away, who left office richer in respect, not in fortune. That is why his popularity was never only political, it was deeply personal. Trump learned the hard truth. Money can buy towers, but it cannot buy admiration. Obama's secret was simple. He became what people wished their leaders could be. From 2008 to 2025, one name still carries hope: Barack Obama. His story proves something rare. Popularity built on character lasts. Respect built on service endures. Admiration born from empathy never fades. That is why his shadow still stretches across the world. And that is why his name still inspires millions. If you want more untold stories that reveal the hidden truths behind global leaders, make sure to subscribe. And tell me this, do you think any modern leader will ever match Obama's global admiration?